that are doing something special in their community by helping a cause or opening their own foundation. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you a friend that I met at Global Liver Institute, Donna Buenavides, right? Did I say that right?
Benavides.
Benavides. There we go. Benavides. She has a wonderful foundation that I learned about at the Global Liver Institute called ICP Care. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Yolanda.
I can't believe you're here. I'm so excited.
From DC to Miami.
So when we were at the Global Liver Institute, and I thought I was the only person from Miami, and then someone said, "Oh, I'm from Miami too." I'm like, "Oh yes, someone else from Miami."
Yeah, it was great.
Have you always lived in Miami, or?
No, actually, I was born in New York, and I came here when I was 6 years old, and I went back for university, and then I came back, but I've been most of my life in South Florida.
South Florida?
Yeah.
Do you love Miami? Because I love Miami.
You know what? We live in paradise, and honestly, it's beautiful in that regard, so I can't complain.
So I know you opened this foundation, ICP Care.
Yes.
And I was very moved by you and your son talking at the Liver Global Institute seminar that we went to, and it was shocking. I didn't even know this existed. Can you please share with our viewers what is ICP?
Absolutely. So I am the founder of ICP Care. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and it is specific to a liver disease, a rare liver disease in pregnancy, and the main symptom is itching. So it's quite common, but it's rare. So what I mean by that is itching in pregnancy is fairly common, but this itching is intense.
So it's incredible you say that, because when my mom got sick and my father-in-law got sick, itching is a big symptom of something wrong with the liver, right?
Exactly.
And your whole body starts itching, and it's because there's too much bile, if I understand correctly.
Correct.
Too much bile in your body, and you tend to scratch. So
exactly.
When I heard your story, your first symptom was
itching. Exactly.
Did you go to your OB and tell them, "Hey, why am I itching?" or you overlooked it?
Yeah, well, actually, the symptoms started about 33 weeks, although with cholestasis pregnancy, the itching can start even at their first trimester. But I was about 33 weeks pregnant, and I honestly thought that something was wrong with either the products I was using, some lotion, detergent. I was like, what is wrong?
Of course, that's the first thing you would think of. Right.
Yeah.
Or something you ate.
Exactly.
I'm not digesting something.
Exactly.
Or maybe I have a virus or something.
Yeah. So the thing that was really quite different was because it was an intense itch. So, if you're itching like a mosquito bite, it's kind of like, okay,
localized.
Yeah, localized, it's here or there. But this was just like kind of like it started to kind of get all over. Started with my hands and feet, which is quite common with cholestasis pregnancy, and then it progressively got worse. But I did speak to my doctor. I brought it up, and since it's quite common in pregnancy itching, she was like, well, just try hydrocortisone cream, and I was like, okay,
on the whole body.
I'm like, okay. No, because it started at my hands and feet. So then I tried it. And then when I went back to my appointment, I was being seen by a group of 4 the OBGYNs. And then I went to see the other doctor. And then she said, when I brought it up again, I said, well, I tried the hydrocortisone cream. It didn't work. It didn't do anything for me. And
did you wait a month?
No. It was like 2 weeks.
Okay.
It was probably like 2 weeks after I had another appointment, and then she was like, "Okay, well, let's do a blood test for you." And then I was just like, what does she mean by that? And doctors don't want to scare you. They want to, let you know, well, this is what we're going to test you for. Let's do a blood work. But she's not going to tell me, well, by the way, this is a high risk pregnancy. There is a risk of stillbirth with this. So she didn't say any of that. And of course, she didn't want to scare me. And this was, I was always a healthy person.
No, I know. You do yoga and everything. You're like very self-conscious of your health. And you're, like you said a minute ago, your temple, your body is your temple. So I can't even imagine what you were thinking, of course. So when the test results came back, is it you're high in bile in your blood?
Correct. So the bile acid levels for me with my first pregnancy with my son, they were about, I was diagnosed finally at 36 weeks. with this blood work, it can take anywhere from 3 to 5 or 7 days, depending on where you live in the United States, to get the results back. And so when I did receive the results back, I was 36 weeks pregnant, and my bile acids were quite high. So I was diagnosed. Again, I didn't know too much about it, and then I trust my doctor. I was always healthy, so it was just kind of like you're kind of like a deer in headlights.
Did you turn yellow?
No, I was not jaundiced. No.
Because usually when the bile is high, your eyes, the white part of your eye turns yellow, or your skin turns yellow.
Yeah, that can happen. Jaundice is a symptom that could occur, but it's quite rare in cholestasis pregnancy. But no, I did have high bile acids, but I was not jaundiced. So that was my main symptom, itching all over. It kind of got progressively worse. So at 36 weeks, I was diagnosed. And then, so the plan of action was, okay, we're going to plan to induce early, because that's one of the treatments that's super important, is to have your baby early. So at 36 weeks, the plan was to induce at 38 weeks.
So at this point, were you considered a high-risk pregnancy?
Once I was diagnosed, I was considered high risk, but so the office I was being seen at, they were OBGYNs. They did have contact and connection with a high-risk pregnancy doctor, but I wasn't referred to a pregnancy doctor, an MFM, a maternal fetal medicine specialist. Although and again, I was always so healthy. I'm like, okay, I'm being seen by a doctor. Okay, I didn't kind of like you're kind of like, I felt like I was like, okay, let me be guided by my doctor. Let me have a conversation with, and research, do a little bit of research on my own. But she consulted with an MFM.
Got it.
And I wasn't prescribed medicine. There is a medicine called ursodeoxycholic acid, urso, to help manage or lower and help within the pregnancy. But I wasn't given this. Again, this was 22 years ago. So a lot has changed.
Thank
Things
God.
are quite different.
I was just going to ask you, how many years ago was it, so people know?
Yes.
And so the course of action was to have an early delivery.
Yes.
A C-section.
No, not a C-section, just early induction.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it better to have a C-section or early induction?
Well, honestly, it's like inducing the pregnancy there's different methods. So Cervidil, which is what I use, it's an insert that helps to ripen the cervix to get you prepared. And there's also Pitocin. I didn't need Pitocin. And I got
Pitocin, and it was crazy. I don't want that thing ever again.
So the plan was to induce. So C-section, of course, is always there in case it's an emergency and it's necessary, or it's elective. I didn't elect to do a C-section. Mine was just, okay, we're going to induce. So that was the plan, induction at 38 weeks. And then to have non-stress tests. So it basically just checking the baby with the monitor at the doctor's office to see how he was. And it's to seeing the movements too. It's a non-stress test. And that's only as good as when you're on the monitor, because things can change.
Right. And so you induced at how many weeks?
So the plan was to induce at 38 weeks on the dot. And then at 37 weeks and 4 days, I had my second non-stress test. And it was reactive. He was doing good. He was moving and all that. And then that evening, when I went home, I was working. I work during the day. So in the evening, doing your routines and all that. And then at around, I want to say I woke up like at 2 in the morning, because I felt him moving more readily. So in other words, in pregnancy, they usually say, well, if, the baby slows down in movement, that's like a red flag. But I honestly wasn't aware that back then that, moving more, increased movement is actually a red flag. Exactly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's anything that's unusual or abnormal in how the baby moves. Just like we all have routines, like our personalities and how they are, right? So they're set from the belly. So he was moving a little bit more rapidly, and I was just like, oh gosh. And I'm thinking, I'm itching, I'm uncomfortable. He must be itching, he must be uncomfortable. So this is my thought process, right? So I get up and I just have a snack, and I'm like, okay, he'll be okay, everything's fine. And and I had a snack, and then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up in the morning to go to work. And when I woke up, I was going about my morning, okay, I got to get to work, da da da. And then I was like, okay, he's fine. I started driving to work, and I'm just like, wow, something feels really off, because I don't feel him moving, So that was really concerning. So I called I went to work, actually, and then my coworkers kind of like looked at me like, "What's wrong, Donna? You look concerned." I'm like, "Well, I kind of haven't felt him move. I feel kind of like something's wrong." And they said to me, "Well, you should call, And then I called. So I called the doctor's office, and they said, "Well, come in, we'll come in and we'll do a check." And so I went in. Interestingly enough, the doctor's office and the hospital was very close to where I lived, but I went to work, which was farther. And then I went back to the doctor's office, and I called my husband, and I said, I'm going to be going to the doctor because I don't feel him moving, and then he was at work, and I went there alone. I was alone. And so the nurses, they did the little, check
Right.
with the handheld kind of Doppler, and they couldn't find a heartbeat. And then the doctor came in to do the same thing. And then they took me to the ultrasound room, which was pretty much right across the street from the room I was in the doctor's office. And then she gave me the news that no mother and no parent ever wants to hear. I'm so sorry, there's no heartbeat.
I'm so sorry.
So my son, Jordan, he passed away at 37 weeks at 5 days. And it was just 2 days before he was going to be born by inducing my pregnancy. Yeah.
I can imagine I can't even imagine what you were going through, because being a mother of 3, and you're always looking forward to delivering your baby, and all those hopes, and it must have been so hard because there was not enough information. And I mean, I didn't even know about this until I met you in Washington. And I can't even imagine what all the questions you had. Does this happen in can this happen to, and if once you have it, can it happen in your next pregnancy?
Yes. So it is.
Is it genetics?
It does. It is recurrent. So if you do have it in one pregnancy, you more than likely will have it. So it's anywhere from 60 to 90%. With my pregnancy, as I had it in all my pregnancies, it is genetic. So it is genetic. There's 3 factors. It's multifactorial. So there's genetic component to it. There's also hormonal and environmental. So what that means is genetic is, passed down by generations. My grandmother from my father's side likely had it. My dad had liver issues. I believe he may have had fatty liver disease. And the hormonal component of it is if within twin pregnancies, multiple pregnancies, you can have it. And then environmental is, they say in research, it's like during the winter months, it's a little bit more prevalent.
Really?
Yeah. So it's just interesting, but it's multifactorial. And then if you have liver, underlying liver issues, it can come up.
So let's say, I don't know if you know how to answer this question. Let's say you have fatty liver, and you get pregnant. Is there a possibility of getting this happen to you? Is there a higher risk?
There's a risk because of the liver issue and underlying liver issues that are underlying. So there is a risk.
Wow.
Because it can be,
that's so
there.
Interesting.
But again, there's so many variables and everybody's different. So, but yes.
That tells you how important liver health is.
Yeah.
And how little there is awareness of liver health in the world, basically.
Exactly.
This is why we have to fight more to bring more awareness to our community regarding liver health.
It's so important. It's important especially because liver is throughout your entire life. Like, you're born, you need your liver. It has so many important jobs. And then from inception, pregnancy, which is where I come to fall into this, with a rare liver disease of pregnancy, right? And then as you grow, as you become older, there's other factors within the liver. And then, there's so many liver issues that can.
So I met your wonderful son, and I know he's a strong supporter of you and what you're doing. And so you opened the foundation, ICP. What motivated you? How were you able to open the foundation? How did you get to that point? Because in my case, Open Believer was, I realized what was going on and there was not enough information. And I felt kind of like helpless. Is that what motivated you to open? And I know your foundation is not only localized in Miami, it's all throughout the United States. So share a little bit about what you're doing and why you opened it.
Yeah, it's so important because awareness and advocacy is so critical within, so many different, not only conditions and, issues. But for me, it was like my why is because I lost my son, Jordan. I did not want any other woman or family have to live through that heart-wrenching experience of having your baby, the baby that was so wanted and so loved, and then having the baby die when, there are, there's information, there's steps, there's plans of action that can be done to prevent such losses. So it's having the right information, so evidence-based information, resources, and really allowing, the mom and just the family to really be empowered and know that they have choices. You have a really open and good communication with your healthcare provider. That's so critical and so important.
So important.
To have that team. It's like your family member, having that communication is, and having that plan of action. So really having and feeling comfortable, because if you don't, there's always a second opinion you can get. Right. There's high-risk pregnancy doctors. So in my case with that. So for me, it's just really paying it forward and allowing the information to really be put out there. So for me, the nonprofit organization was born through losing Jordan, right? But it's bigger than me and bigger than any one person, because for me, throughout the years, I've had so many amazing volunteers and board members to be able to get, the nonprofit where it's at now and where it's going to be headed. And it's just getting more information out there, awareness, working with having free materials. Like we have a full website in English and in Spanish.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And Instagram too.
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, for social media as well. And it's so important because within ICP, it's 1 in 2 in 1,000 pregnancies are affected. However, it's more prevalent in Latinas or Hispanics women, so it's 5% more prevalent.
Which is liver disease is higher in Adams as well.
Exactly. So we have the resources and just the support groups that we have in both English and Spanish through our Facebook pages. Really provide a community, because it's so important to have that community, to feel supported, to be heard, especially if it's something so rare, right, and unusual. Because somebody that is pregnant that has a normal pregnancy can't really relate to somebody who has a rare pregnancy, liver-induced condition that can put, the risk is stillbirth, which is so very traumatic.
Yeah.
People
don't understand. Well, you think pregnancy is easy, and it's not. It's there's a lot of risks to it, and of course we enjoy it, but we need to ask the right questions, and we need to be more aware. And I think one of the things that I'm learning from you today is we need to ask our family members how their pregnancies, all the women, how their pregnancies went. Because we have to ask about past history of diseases. We don't ask that question. Mommy, how was your pregnancy?
Exactly.
And Grandma, how was your pregnancy? And there is a connection. And I think that's one of the most important questions that we need to start asking among our family.
Yes, it's so critical. It's so critical. And that's another component of what we're working on. We have a registry. It's ICP Care patient registry. And that's exactly what we're kind of like tying in with what you're saying, because medical information is so very critical and necessary.
100%.
So that's something that for us is allowing us to be able to help support research, to get more information in a pool to kind of come together, right? Because strength comes with numbers.
Of course.
Yeah.
100%. And you have a support group, right?
Yes.
So is the support group quarterly or monthly, or how does that work?
So the support group is just an online support group through Facebook, and it's we have both an English and a Spanish support group. We have
I saw
volunteer moderators that are just
I saw.
amazing.
It's amazing what you're doing.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's so very rewarding just to hear and to see how, as a community, we're helping each other and helping saving lives. That's the whole point, right? We want to help. Our mission is stillbirth prevention, to make sure that babies' lives are saved, and just allowing and having it is global, because we help women in LATAM and Latin America. We have the support group in the Spanish page is we have women from Argentina, from all over really from Europe,
And it's so important because they're all going through the same thing, or they went through the same thing, and you can help each other and talk about it, because it is rare, but you're putting everybody together so that they could, put their worries there and talk about them, so that they could enjoy their pregnancy and see the hope at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
Because it's important, because there are a lot of success stories that were able to be caught on early and have their babies.
Exactly.
And so that's amazing that you're doing that. I commend you with that. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Because there's no more. I think one of the most important things is sharing our stories, so that we can move forward in life and get strength from it. And that's what you're doing with these women that are going through the same thing you went through. And that's truly amazing. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you. And a big shout out to all the team members and ICP Care, because like I said,
they're all volunteers.
It's beyond one person, beyond me, beyond any of that. So I really want to give a shout out to the board members, to all our volunteers, to our ambassadors. Everything that's being done, it couldn't be done without each of them. They're all professionals. They've been affected by intrahepatic cholecystitis
Especially
pregnancy.
one doctor that you were sharing with me. It's amazing. She went through it, and she's an OB, and
exactly, and she's on our board.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because there's nothing like personal, and then of course your profession, putting it together, it makes you just overall much better at what you do, right? So what is the future of ICP? What do you how do you see it a year from now? Because I know you're doing a lot of things. You want to do a lot of things regarding ICP and bringing it more to the eyes of everybody. And so what are your future goals with it?
Well, our future goals is just to continue really to really be a hub and just a resource for evidence-based information through our website, and support women and families. One thing that we've done throughout the years is we've gone through conferences. So we've gone to OBGYN, midwife conferences, nurse conferences, in order to just have a booth to distribute evidence-based information for our healthcare professionals, to have them be aware not only about the up-to-date information, but hey, we are a nonprofit organization that are here to support those patients that you have. So in case they haven't found us through social media,
there's
guide them here, give them a pamphlet or direct them there.
And did I learn right that if someone wants a pamphlet, you could send them off to them?
Yeah, so we have a beautiful new project program that through a generous little grant that we received, that we're paying it forward. So we have a program that we have both patient and also healthcare professional brochures available on our website. So you go on there, you can order it for free, and it'll get shipped directly to you.
Wow.
So it's amazing, because you can do this as a local, locally as your own little passion project if you have this, or if you want to just spread the word. Order some pamphlets, go to your church, go to the library. They allow you to leave, brochures or pamphlets there, as long as they're meant for, the good, right?
Right,
A family
of
of women,
Of course.
Babies. So just maybe your doctor will accept some, leave it there or at the emergency room. And again, it's just paying it forward as something that one person could do on their own, because it takes one person to save one life.
Have you thought of writing a book?
No, actually, I haven't.
You should. I think you should write a book.
Really? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll put that on my
I think you should. I think this is
to do.
I know it's a very difficult story, but it has a lot of power, and I think you could do a lot of good sharing your story amongst a lot of women. I mean, I remember when I was pregnant, the first thing I went was to the bookstore. Think about it.
Yeah.
And I never, of everything I read,
Yeah.
I never heard of this.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting because throughout the years, I've had to actually reach out to many large organizations that didn't have this information on their website. I've also reached out to those books, those What to Expect But Expecting. I reached out to her, and
very important.
Yeah, and she, they added it to their book, because what happens is that they're having the information as a blurb, but having a little bit more depth information to kind of expand the knowledge of the risk.
Awareness is power.
Exactly.
Right? If you are aware of it, you could ask the questions and you could act accordingly, and you could save yourself, save your pregnancy. It's so important to advocate for yourself. I think
it is. It's critical.
It's critical. It's critical in life.
It's critical.
And what advice do you give women that that are being pregnant and are pregnant, and what advice would you give them if you just meet someone that's pregnant? What advice would you give them?
I would say that definitely you know your body the best. You are the expert of how you feel in your body.
100%.
So definitely, if there's something that is like a red flag, or just kind of like something's off, don't second guess yourself. Really, embrace your intuition. Speak to family. Speak to your healthcare professional. Do the work. Connect with community of others that have been affected with either the condition or this disease. Especially in pregnancy, there's so many variables that we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. Pregnancy, having a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby is like a miracle.
It is a miracle.
So for everything to really go a certain way, it's just a miracle. So always embracing your know of your body. That's something that I always, like to really empower people, especially women with,
That's great advice. Very good advice. I think sometimes we just don't want to face it, but, listen to your body. Trust yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Believe in yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's great advice. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you so much.
I can't believe we met at the Global Liver Institute.
In D.C.
D.C. with Gina and Nicole. Look, Gina, look what you did. And I know you've been advocating for many years, so thank you for all your hard work in advocating for the liver, and it's so important. And I hope we could work together with our causes, because I'm liver too. So
we'll collaborate.
We have to collaborate somehow. Yes,
for sure. And thank you so much for all you do and the work that you're doing to really, bring awareness to the liver and liver diseases. And having me on here to really get the word out to your community and to those watching. It's so important, especially.
Thank you. I there's something about me, ever since I started this, there's something about meeting women like you that inspires me to move forward every day in my own foundation, because I think there's so many beautiful stars around us, and I just want to bring awareness to them, to our community, that you are here and you guys are doing wonderful things. So thank you for being one of those stars.
Thank you.
So thank you for being with me here today again. Today is Give Miami Day. So if there is a cause that you are interested in donating, today is a great day to do it. So go out there. There are so many wonderful foundations like hers that need so much help to make our community a little bit better. and help so many people that are going through so many issues, and they need the support. I want to thank the community newspaper for this moment. I truly love doing this podcast. And like I always end my show, keep a hope alive and always, always believe dreams do come true. So God bless you all and have a wonderful, wonderful day.